Turn the light off.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I want to talk about a question that is always a conversation piece among readers, and that is, should you be buying physical books or Kindle books? After owning a bunch of physical books as well as some Kindle versions, here are my thoughts on this. Difference number one, indescribable emotional attachment. So first things first, no piece of technology can replace the feeling of when you receive a package of books and you open it up. The feeling you get when you touch a brand new book and just flip through the pages, the smell the pages give off. And on top, the feeling of piling up your collection on your bookshelf. It's almost emotional. You can't replace that. You know how reading books is a hobby? I really think buying books and growing your collection is also a hobby. Don't get me wrong, my Kindle is one of the best technological investments I've ever made in my life. But look at my collection over here. And I still have 5 or 6 more coming in shortly. Difference number 2, ability to disconnect from technology. One of the other popular reasons why somebody would want to own a physical copy over a Kindle version is the ability to disconnect from any kind of technology. I have 2 books on my Kindle app on my phone that I try to read every couple of minutes every day, but that app is dangerously close to Instagram app. Now that's just the app. I understand the Kindle device is absolutely bare bones when it comes to tech, but you get reminded that you are still on a device every once in a while whenever it's too buggy to turn the pages, or it takes a few extra seconds to turn the Kindle on, or the biggest one when the battery runs out. Difference number 3, highlighting and making notes. Another reason why somebody would buy a physical book is highlighting and marking up your favorite passages. And you can even put physical notes or markers if you want to reference them in the future easily. I think there are benefits to this that I still don't realize it yet. It's the same thing as journaling in a physical notebook or opening an app on your phone or your tablet or a computer. I can't describe why writing in a physical book is better than typing it on an app, but it's there. The same logic applies here of highlighting in a physical book versus a Kindle. Difference number 4, accomplished feeling. And the last reason why physical books are better, in my opinion, is the feeling that you get when you finish a page, when you finish a chapter, just flipping through it. It's a different feeling. It's no comparison to pressing a button or swiping on the Kindle device. When you flip through a physical book, you can see how much of the book have you finished, how much more you have left. On a Kindle, you get your page numbers or percentage complete sign, but again, it's not the same. That accomplished feeling is different. I just realized that all my pros of owning a physical book are emotional. Maybe that's true. The only logical reason is that you don't have to worry about its battery running out. Alright, now let's get into why this tiny little device is amazing. And trust me, it is. Difference number 5, size comparison. Just look at the difference here. How do you beat this? It's just unreal how amazing this tiny device is. It's so tiny that you can use one hand to read a book on this, whereas most physical books requires you to use them both. Try it. Try reading a physical book with one hand and see how that goes. This is a weird thing to say, but it is a big plus for me. With a Kindle, I can walk and read, which I sometimes do when I want to get my steps up. Or because it's so tiny, I can just lay it flat when I jump on a treadmill. I have over 200 books on this tiny little thing. I don't travel to work by bus, but for somebody who does, that's a huge point. Just compare that to carrying a bunch of heavy books. I think that would be one of the biggest reasons to not read at all. Difference number 6, privacy. Speaking of public transport, let's say you don't want a stranger to know what book you're reading. I think a Kindle is the perfect way to hide that. I mean, what if you're into reading erotic books and you do not want a stranger looking at that? The answer? A Kindle. Difference number 7, option of skipping a boring book. Let's say you're boarding a plane and you want to carry a physical book. You might be able to carry 1 or 2 books, and it's all fine if you like it, but what if you don't? With my Kindle, I have the option of switching to a new book whenever I feel like it. Sometimes I like switching between fiction and non-fiction books too. That's a huge plus for me, considering that I don't have to worry about my books being a significant weight on my carry-on luggage. Difference number 8, dictionary and notes app at your fingertips. If I'm reading a book and come across a word that I don't get, all I have to do is tap the word and the dictionary pops open. It cannot get any easier than that. When you tap the word, another option is called notes. This is where you can write anything that you might want to look back at a later time. And this can be accessed through the Goodreads app on any of the devices, which is a book collections app by Amazon. Difference number 9, font size, style, and orientation. This is an easy one. You can change the font size, style, or even orientation. None of these features are possible on a physical book. Difference number 10, reading in the dark. I'm saving the best one for the last. Now, this is the biggest advantage in my book. book. I don't have to worry about keeping the light on. It has an E-Link display that is anti-glare that exactly looks like a book with a backlit display. It has adjustments that changes the shades from white light to a warm one, along with the brightness. If your partner does not like having even the Kindle light on at night, there is a dark mode that switches the blacks and whites of the display, essentially darkening the display even more, but maintaining the readability. All in all, both of them have advantages and disadvantages. That is why I like having a balance of owning some physical books and a lot of Kindle versions. I like having hard copies of books that I know I'm going to read again, or there are certain books that need to be read daily. For example, Who Will Cry When You Die, or The Daily Stoic, which is meant to be read one page daily. I would want physical copies for such a book. But then I don't buy physical books for fiction because I know I'm not going to read them again. So I don't want them to waste my real estate space on my bookshelf. I can definitely say that I have been reading a lot more since I bought this Kindle. I have essentially reduced the friction between me and my developing habit of reading.
Sagar?
Coming!